Welcome back to another reaction to You and I Are Polar Opposites. Last time we had our first little date. So I don't really know what the episodic nature is going to be. Are we going to go do something couple-like every episode? Are we going to get into more comedy? Maybe more focus on the other characters? Not really sure.
鈴木おはよう。あ、東おはよう。あ、その人形映画のやつじゃん。
Right, they got two of the same little mascot. So the pair pair accessory.
そう、ふわもこちゃん。誰と言ったの？鍋？佐藤？
Right, she doesn't know, right? Because Watanabe and Sato, which is interesting. I like how they displayed that, the nickname. Very nicely done. Those two naturally know, the guy knows, but she probably doesn't know that, she has a significant other at the moment.
谷君。え？なぜみ谷？付き合ってる。聞いてね。
Right, wait. Did you say her name? Azuma.
鈴木よ。
I'm not sure. I am so bad with names. But the guy, I believe, he was talking about a third person. I don't know if that was Azuma. But that one was blacked out. So maybe this is, the third friend in the group that was left out of the loop somehow.
なんでいつ？超最近。どういうこと？どっちから？それは脅迫。
What's the Okay, we are jumping to some strange conclusions.
話を聞いて。マジか。
Now she just, because she got out of the loop, she's a little bit down, or because she doesn't have a partner?
どっちのリアクションなのそれは。普通にいい方。いや、もうめっちゃ羨ましいじゃん。何？やばい大打撃だわ。
Super jealous, understandable.
つうか鈴木超まともじゃん。びっくりした。
I mean, she didn't really tell anyone that she liked Tanikun, but I would have assumed that all the close friends, they have an idea because she was always talking to Tanikun. On the other hand, she talks to a lot of people. She, seems to be somewhat friendly, on friendly terms with a lot of different people. So maybe they were like, oh, Tanikun is like everyone else.
谷君じゃなくて？まともな人間好きになろうと思ったら本人にもまともさがいるんだよ。
A little bit dark.
何かあった？彼氏が谷みたいなやつだったら。
If only my boyfriend had been. Oh, you had a boyfriend.
さあ、突然連絡途絶えて音信不通に。
Ooh, oh. I don't really remember age. Are they like high schoolers, like 16, 17? Okay. If they're like 15, which you never can tell in these shows, then it's like, I mean, in my mind, a boyfriend relationship is like 1 to 2 years at least. But for them, it could be like a couple months, so. And I'm assuming that he cheated on her.
実は勘でぶち込まれてました。
Oh. He went into, okay. That is not good. Again, Japan has a pretty high conviction rate if you get brought before a judge. So they were pretty sure that they had something on him. Now, maybe he took the fall for someone, copium.
じゃんじゃん
Do you at least know what he did?
みたいなことは絶対ないんだろうね。最高じゃん。お幸せに。ないよ。普通ないんだよ。
Now, again, it depends on what he was doing. Let's say he was shoplifting. I mean, I also don't know how strict Japan is in these kinds of situations. If they're like, oh, you did something small, we are going to give you a slap on the wrist and don't do it again. Or if they are like, oh, no, we got you. We have the proof, you are gone. Kind of thing. Naturally, it could also be something more nefarious, and then it's good that, she did not get involved with that, because that can happen. It's not too rare that, one of the two characters in a relationship is doing something illegal and they pull the other one into it.
タイラって映画とか見る方？
映画は好きだけど、映画館は客がガチャだから苦手。
What?
映
Okay.
画館は客
He is right. I mean, the analogy is a little bit okay. But going to a movie with an audience, you never know. Especially these are, school children. I'm assuming they have like a curfew or are not allowed outside at some specific point. I don't really know how real that is, but in a lot of shows you have like police officers being like, why are you still outside? Who are you? What is your name? Kind of thing if someone is out late. Someone younger, that is, most of the time. So I don't really know if that is true, because if you go late into cinema, it's a lot less likely that you get obnoxious people in the movie. But, otherwise, you never know. There could be children, people that have their phones out. I'm not a cinema guy. Last time I went is like 10 years ago. Fuck me. And at that time, people were pretty respectful. I don't know how likely it is nowadays that people whip out their phone mid-movie and, have like a supernova in their hand in a dark room. So I can definitely see why he's like, it's more or less a draw of the luck if you get a good audience.
がガチャだから苦手だわ。
ああ、それガパチョも言ってたわ。俺今やってる魔女とふわふわのやつ見に行きたいんよ。
Ah, the one our pair watched. In the opening, I believe he was one of the guys. He was one of the girls.
似合わね
鈴木の
Depends on the person.
でかいな。いやもうほんと私クズしか好きになれんのよ。第一印象あってなる人みんなクズ。
朝からなんつう会話してんだ。
アズがどうしたら幸せな恋愛をできるかについて話しております。
誠実な男から旨味を感じられないんだよね。
もうダメだろこいつ。
So, I mean, that does suck. Only be attracted to, like, bad guys. Or
女
bad
子って
boys.
ヤンキー好きよな。美人な子ほど2個上ぐらいのヤンキーと付き合うじゃん。あれなんで？
あんたの中学の思い出だろそれ。
So, your memories from middle school, so this is high school, I guess. Okay.
い やでも正直ちょっと悪い雰囲気ある人にかっこいいって惹かれる気持ち分かっちゃうんだよ
鈴木須田健好きだもんね。
要はお前らヒエラルキーで選んでんだろ結局。
Interesting. Okay. First off, this is a pudding. The only thing I see is the vanilla pudding with a little caramel sauce on top that you see in anime. But okay, it's nice that we see a little bit of the other characters. Because we do see, in the opening at least, a lot of different characters in the show. So it is nice that they get a little bit time, and we may, again, as I stated in the beginning, may see some other couples form, which would be nice.
相手の内面じゃなくてポジションで見てんだよ。上位グループにいる人間と付き合ってる自分になりたくて、こいつの隣にいる自分を誇りたいんだよ。くだらねえ。
おい鈴木、んなこと言ってていいんか？タイに来てっけど。
He also doesn't know. I don't really know what type of character that is. I'm assuming he's somewhat in these cases we have the dumb guy more or less on the right side. And we always have to have someone who's called handsome. I'm assuming that is the other dude. He has no idea what is going on. And it doesn't really his celebrity crush doesn't really matter, unless you act on that, which most people, as far as I know, don't really do. It's more an adoration for, these more famous people. I really like this style. Last episode, she was always seen as like a panda because of her shirt. I like this. Not really chibi, but the simpler, cutesy style.
おはよう。
アホだ。
谷くん、今の聞いてた？
聞こえてたけど別にいちいち気にしないから。
うわ、鈴木かわいいな。
おもろいの方が勝つけどな。
He has no idea what is going on. Everyone else knows, but he has no idea. Especially because his inner monologue was like, oh, you care more about the status of your significant other than what is inside. Oh, it's so stupid and stuff. He is more the romanticist. He wants to have, for him, it's more important what is inside of the person, and he cares more about that. Now showing that, our girl likes Tanikun, who he doesn't have any higher position. He's not at the top. He is more or less one of the insignificant people. And still, there is a love blooming. More or less countering his view of her.
私も。
何？どういうこと？
おー、あいつら付き合って。
Yeah, so this is a problem. He doesn't know what you can and cannot say. Or better said, what you should and should not say. Because it's not really your point to say it. If they want to have it public, fine. But if not, it's not really... It's a little bit hard, especially because it seems like somewhat of a friend group. And you never know who can you tell it, who can't you. Especially, sometimes your perception of people is a little bit wrong. They're in a group, everyone is their own person, but most of the time there's one person who can't really keep their mouth shut, like him. And if you have a secret, you probably don't want to tell him because, everyone is going to hear about it. But there are also people, you can trust with, whatever you want to tell them. and they're going to keep it for themselves. Some people even are like, you know what? I don't want to know. And, you know, maybe they don't want to be burdened by it, or they don't want to slip up. Now, this, you know, my inner thought, we have, you know, this word of VTubing. And I always thought about, you know, there are people that know a lot about some of the VTubers. And my thought was like, you know, if I were in that position at any point, I would not want to know their real name. I don't want to see a picture of them, even if I get close to them, because I would not want to slip up for some reason. It can happen. There are always accidents. I would not want to slip up and ruin their more or less life because I dox them or I say something I should not say. So that is why I would prefer never to be in that position. Not only VTubers are a good example, but also if you know someone else and you know where they live, already saying where they live can be a detriment. So again, there are different people. Here we have the blabbermouth who's just going to tell, and you never know if he is the blabbermouth that only tells the people inside the circle. There are people that just put it outside.
は？
てかなんでみんな普通
I mean, 3 of them already know. One of them heard today.
すんなり受け入れてるけどまず最初に思うのこれだろ鈴木谷でいいのかいやだって谷って
This also one of my first thoughts, which I naturally didn't talk already too much, is that naturally the perception he has, this whole idea, is naturally coming from himself. So this is what he is seeing as well and potentially using to decide. But still he tries to, you know, he has this idea, this is how it works, and he doesn't really want to follow that. Even though he is inadvertently beholden by that idea. Okay.
鈴木の理想と現実かけ離れすぎだろ
I mean, that is how it goes. You have an idea, you have specific characteristics you do care about, but you never know who your heart is going to beat for until it happens. It can go to a totally different direction.
ダニーおはよう。
おはようお前はなんでそんな初めからダチでしたみたいなテンションでいけるんだよ
I mean, that is his
お
power.
これ映画の
私はこっち。
匂わせてんじゃね
匂い
あ、そういえば鈴木写真は
Oh, yeah.
撮ってないよ。
嘘だな
写真
見たい
見して見して。
おーおーおーマジか
I mean, what can you do? And again, in the opening, there are some ideas that maybe more stuff could happen. This one as example. It looks like they could end up together. And she's jealous. We will see. And again, you see here all the characters. A bunch. Too many.
Ah, あっち自販機
Oh, Tanikun? No. What a weird way to crouch down. Is that normal? Maybe.
おーすタイラー
And that is the point. This way, she interacts with a lot of people, so I can understand why no one would pick up on her and Tannikun.
ごめんリアリティゴールドのストロングなら今のが
Reality Goat Strong. Is that an energy drink? It sounds like, like a mixed alcoholic beverage.
スイッチ
そんなジャンクなもん飲まん。
あー美味しいのに
It is an energy drink.
あのさ、鈴木。なんで谷なの？
俺にしとけよ。
違う。
I mean, I would be in the same boat where I would have questions. Why? Because I do want to know a lot of stuff. But in the end, there's probably no real answer.
違う。ゾッとすな。いや、ほら、鈴木ってさ、山田とか渡辺みたいなネアカと違って、空気読みっつうか、周りの目気にする系じゃん。
そんな風に思ってたんか
ああいう毛色が違うタイプと付き合うの意外。
I mean, that is a way, a pretty solid way to, say that. Dating someone who's that different from you is unexpected. Not it's weird or it doesn't fit you, it's unexpected. Which is true, because they are very different.
正直気にしてたよずっと周りとのバランスとか自分がどう思われてるかとかけど自分がそんなんだから逆になのかな谷君みたいに自分がブレない人がかっこよく見えちゃうんだよねでこののろけちゃんと話すとあと2時間ぐらい続くけどいい？
勘弁して。糖分肩で吐くわ。窓際熱。
Right. Oh, different types. Small can, big can. These can be cold, right? They can be cold or hot.
じゃーんちょっとやってみたかったんだびっくりした
びっくりした。
細かいな
あー、カップルがよくやるやつ。
Second character that is going to get jealous for a bunch of stuff.
飲み物買ってきたんだけどどっちがいい？ストロングかミニ
なんでリア語一択なんだよ。こっちでしょうね。いくらした？
いらないよこのぐらい
いやでも
もう律儀だな
毒なのに聞いてしまう。
じゃあ3円
レジ袋じゃないんだから仲よろしい子って。
鈴木戻ってんじゃん
What the fuck are you doing? Is that a whole 1-liter sports drink aquarium? How can you hold that? These things are not that easy to hold by the cap.
鈴木戻ってんじゃん何凍らせたスポドリ全然溶けない
Oh, I froze. Interesting.
だからあらゆる硬いところ叩いて回ってんの破壊神みたいなことしないで
鈴木
今度はなんだ
宿題見せて
またか最近多すぎ自分でやれ
谷
あこら私には聞かない感じ
I mean, he's cutting his losses, so.
まあ一応やってきてるけど。ああ、早速いいように使われてんじゃん。自分のためにならないけどいいの？
Again, my assumption was that he would be smart, but maybe he's not.
俺は助かるけど
バカ話の糸を汲み取れ
鈴木はちゃんと 谷自身を見ていて、周りは鈴木の選択だから否定しない。誰かの評価を気にしたりなんて誰も。あ、そっか。
Again, it's a whole viewpoint he has, and even though he doesn't want to be beholden by that, he's the only one really that is looking at the world like this.
なんとなく分かってしまった。今まで視界に入ってなかったやつが急に認められたように感じるモヤモヤ。認めてたやつが妥協したように思えるつまらなさ。俺が他人の言動や立ち位置やランクがやたらと気になってしまうのは自分視点の基準がないからだ。
平どうしたん？
Maybe they get together. They are somewhat on the same wavelengths, I feel like.
ちゃんと自分があるやつは他人の変化で揺らいだりしない。他人と自分を切り離せてる。
That is true.
ヒエラルキー。
One of the things that she said she liked about Tanikun, that he was unwavering about himself.
に縛られてるのは俺だ。
え、何？怖いんだけど。
お、平妻大津。
Yeah, I just want to say, you just put names together, okay?
母音もくっつけるな。一緒に帰んの？
じゃあね
また明日。
まあ堂々と二人並んで人の目気にせず一緒に帰って。
Jealous much.
なんかさ、夢あるよな、あの二人。
お前高校デビューだもんな。
Ah, high school debut. That is what I assumed would be what Suzuki did. I believe that was her name. That she maybe was more herself in middle school, but in high school she decided to read the room, but outwardly decide to be more or less what she wants to be. Maybe. But now we know he did this, at least that. It's a typical, you know, you change your whole outside, you change your whole vibe, you try to restart your life, more or less.
うるせえ。
In middle school. Wow. I mean, that is pretty big change. She, however, it's the same. Seemingly. It looks like she also did change her look. I really like the black uniform though. Again, maybe these two get together, maybe
ねえ
not.
鈴木さん。例えば鈴木さんの好きな人間像があったとして、それに近づければいいとは思うけど、僕は自分の倫理観から外れたことはできないと思う。
Interesting. If you're together with someone, you'd want to be closer to what their ideal is. Now, it feels like it would make sense, but they fell in love with you like you are right now, not what you could be. So by changing, you more or less change the person they fell in love with. Now, that doesn't mean that there are no changes. There are going to be changes. You are going to, you know, you're going to meet in the middle in certain aspects. But changing into, you know, her celebrity crush would probably not lead to what you assume it would.
ちょっと悪い雰囲気ある人にかっこいいって惹かれる気持ち分かっちゃうんだよな。やっぱ気にしてんじゃん。
気にしてない。
いや、本当に気にしてなかったら言わないね。
気にしてない。
嘘。
ちょっとなんで嬉しそうなの？
だって ごめんごめん。谷くん、好きの種類っていろいろあるわけですよ。わかる？
分かってるって。
かっこいいってのも見た目だったり内面だったり行動だったりいろんな憧れの種類があってね。
うん、分かって。
今の顔超かわいい。すっごいかわいいんだけど。人はやっぱ
I mean, so he wants to be seen as cool.
理想のかっこいいに惹かれてしまうんだよね。
Because she only told him that he's cute. I mean, I can understand that. Because she never really told him his cool side. Which is, as far as I remember, his whole unchanging demeanor. He's always the same. Not really changing whoever he's across. And she found that somewhat cool. Being able to do that.
谷くんかわいい。かわいい。
Not what he
鈴木さん
wants to hear.
それ一体どういう意味？
小さい谷くんかわいい。
What's the... Okay. Never had that happen to me.
あれ、起きるの早い。
天ぷらに起こされた。
Emperor? Okay.
あらら、天ぷらは今日もかわいいね。
I feel like that those are not the same.
悪い雰囲気ある人にかっこいいって惹かれる気持ちわかっちゃう。好きの種類っていろいろあるわけですよ。
気にしないとは言ったけど、鈴木さんの思うかっこよさって強さだとしたら、僕は重たい。
I mean, in this case, the best way would be to communicate. I mean, he could ask his mom, but I don't know if that would help.
どういてよ。お母さん、体操服どこ？
俺今日帰らねえから夕飯いらん。
I'm not coming home tonight? Okay.
もう一気にいろいろ言わないで。
Oh, he's probably college, working and stuff. Okay.
途中まで乗せて。
そら
I'm assuming he is going to know that her brother. I also feel like she's just going to jump off.
ここで OK。
指図すんな。
サンキューサンキュー。
Unruly hair. I mean, understandable on a bike helmet.
鈴木の
Where are you coming from? What's the fuck? I assume this is more or less still their neighborhood? Or is this already in more or less close to the school?
鈴木の投稿いかつね。
ねえって距離感。
Also something, you know, some people have a bigger radius of personal space. He seems to not be used to people intruding into his one. But for them, it's just, you know, a social circle is sometimes just like a bubble. And if you get introduced, you just get sucked in and everyone is like I guess we are friends now. So you have to adapt quickly.
タニ、今のバイク乗ってたの誰か知ってる？
いや
I mean, she could just tell him because she seemingly knows. Or she could play around with him.
鈴木。
あず谷くん。何どういう組み合わせ？
おはよう。ねえ、さっきの鈴木兄だよね。
あ、そうだよ。
バイク送迎最高じゃん。兄紹介してよ。
だから東趣味悪すぎるってねえ谷くん。
How should he know?
それ僕に同意求めないで。
安心した？
そういえば谷くんって兄弟いる？
いない。
あー、ぽい。
それはどういうぽいなんだろ
鈴木兄って彼女いんの？
知らんけどいなかったとしても
いやどういう絵面だよ。
I mean, it's very nice that he got accepted that quickly.
じゃ帰りません。
鈴木さん、今日僕図書委員の当番で残るから。
ありゃ、そうなの？そりゃ仕方ないね。
仕方なくなさそう。
Why are you sneaking in?
あれ、鈴木さん。どうしたの？
そういえばまともに図書室使ったことないな。
Sure.
せっかくだしこの機会に行ってみようかなって。ごめん、なんかストーカーっぽいね。
そんなこと思わないよ。
そう、よかった。
というか、どちらかといえば嬉しい。あ、それを伝えた方がよかったのか。
I mean, that would be a good way to start. That is beginning and end of communication. Tell what is on your mind. Always helpful.
けど、あまり長い時間待たせたくないな。鈴木さん、飽きたら先に帰っていいから。
いくら私でも読書ぐらいできるけど。
いや、そういう意味じゃ。
やっぱ今のなし。ちょっと本借りて今日は帰ろうかな。いや確かに冷やかしで来てるっぽくて嫌だよね。バイト先に友達が来た時のどの顔の自分で行くか迷う感じみたいな。
何か意図と違う伝わり方をしている感じがする。鈴木さん、ここ17時に施錠なんだけど待てる？
At least she seems easy to read. So we have that going for us. Now who's that? Wait, that's the one in the intro, in the opening? I feel like she is. Oh. Someone bad at talking. Very shy.
今まで言葉の文字通りの意味以外の部分とか、表面で見えている部分とその内側との差とか、反対に自分の言葉が意図と同じように伝わっているかなんて気にも留めてなかった。言葉で思考を表現することも、思考を言葉だけから読み取ることも完全は難しい。今は 些細なギャップが逐一気になって仕方ない。
That is why you should communicate a bit more.
もうゴマポン
あ
ゴマポンも今帰るとこ
Wait. Social studies teacher. Go to Masaru. You can just give him a nickname? I see where the Goma comes from, but the pawn?
ってわからんか。
おお自転車電動じゃんウケる
受けるんじゃない。日が暮れる前に帰りなさいよ。
はーい
鈴木さん、お待たせ。
今さっきゴマポン帰ってった自転車で
自転車くらい乗るでしょ。
いやだってめっちゃ小さい自転車乗ってんだもん車輪やんパンくらいのかわいいって思っちゃった
I assume we are going to have a conversation about adorable. Additionally, do we have phone numbers? I feel like there would be a lot more, line messages going on.
出た。鈴木さん、その鈴木さんの言う可愛いってどういう意味？
意味
例えば猫とかパンダが可愛いっていうのはわかるんだけど、後藤先生かっていうのはよくわからなくて。
ああそういう可愛い以外でどう言ったらいいんだろう。心臓がギューってされるっていうか、あ愛おしいって感じかな、けど男の人はあんま使わんか可愛いって。
He remembered all the times he got called kawaii. Interesting she didn't catch on to that.
じゃあねこれから図書室通おうかな。借りたやつ続きものだし。
それ僕も昔読んだ。
本当？じゃあ読んだら語れるじゃんあ、今度は谷君のおすすめの本教えてよ。
けど
まあ多分趣味全然違うだろうけどでも別に全部が全部合わなくてもいいっていうか、なんかこう徐々にお互いのこと知っていって、これが好きって話した時に、ああ好きそうって言えるような分かってる人になりたいなって。
鈴木さん、自分は鈴木さんが思うようなかっこいい人にはなれないけど、かわいい。伝わってる？じゃあ
Interesting how, she's able to say it. She has no problem saying it, but her resistance to being told, a lot less. Now it also is a little bit different to get told by someone you like.
また明日。
あ、谷だ谷ハロ
おはよう。あのさ、谷。俺、この前鈴木になんで谷って聞いたんだけど。
え？
I mean, some people just take it, some people are more curious. Totally fine. I mean, Honey probably is also questioning that.
お前んなこと聞いたん？
自分を持ってるところがかっこいいっつってたわ。え？ なんだよリアクション悪いな。いや、なんでわざわざそれを僕に。は？自分のいないところで言われてた褒め言葉が一番嬉しいだろうが。
普通に直接言われたくね？
相手の気を良くしようって意図が混ざってる本心かお世辞かわからねえ言葉より、いないところで言われてた言葉の方が純度高えだろ。
お前は人を疑いすぎ。
I mean, he's not necessarily wrong. There's a lot of superficially talk going on, and behind the scenes, people are more open. Doesn't really mean that it is not. It is somewhat rare, especially if you are in a somewhat loose friendship relationship. It's if you are with a worker or someone you spend a lot of time with, it is more likely that you're going to lie about your true feelings because you don't want to make the relationship bad. Then if you're friends with someone across the globe, you don't really care what they think as much, at least, because you can just make new friends, unless different to people you spend every day or at least a lot of time with.
じゃあ何？平は谷を喜ばせたいの？お前の親切独特すぎん？
平君、いい人なんだね。だからそういうのいいから。俺はただ自分の悪感情と向き合う過程でたまたま今お前にとっていいことをしただけであって、俺はいい人間じゃねえ。
ひえ、めんどくせえ。
どんなも
I mean,
の？
that's true.
本だってば。
鈴木が本読むなんて。あれ？なんか変なメンツ。
ほんとだ。
もうちょっとであいつの乗る。
谷君笑ってるじゃん。珍しい。なんで？
悔しい。私の方が絶対おもろなのに。
どこで張り合ってんの？
I mean, I can definitely understand that she wants to be the one that brings a smile to his face. I mean, 3 episodes. It is quite endearing. Oh my fuck. It is, though, quite endearing little romance show with some nice comedy mixed in. I'm definitely going to continue watching this one. I do feel bad doing reactions because the only real thing I can add to a show is me yapping like an idiot. I'm not really... The only thing I'm really moved by are emotional things. But you can't really bring me to laugh, and I'm not going to fake laugh. I don't have the energy and I'm too lazy. Can't be bothered with that. The same with action. I'm not going to be, oh my fucking god, look at... They did more frames. Yay, look at this movement. Ooh, I can't be bothered. So, a show like this is not really where... There's no real benefit watching me, straight up. But I probably will continue just so I need to watch it anyway, the full season. So why not? Why not? There's not too many other shows going on right now that are interesting enough. So why not? Why not?